Folks, welcome back. Welcome back. We got a very, very special guest, all right? Up next, my guest is a filmmaker and the host of the TV show Nub TV, coming to us all the way from the UK via satellite link. Let's give it up to Mr. Mark Christopher Lee. All the way, our first international guest, folks, huh? We're going to pay to fly him out, but, you know, who's kidding who over here? This is fantastic. Via Zoom. Listen, buddy, I have seen some of your stuff. It's pretty much unexplainable. So I'm going to try and give it a brief intro here. So it's like you have a show that features musicians, indie kind of bands, but they don't talk about music so much as they talk about the paranormal, like aliens and stuff. And this was your idea. You sat in a room and you thought this up, and everyone else thought it was a good idea. So I think the question on everybody's mind is, when did the UK start to legalize hard drugs? I think is that. But tell me about this show. It's unbelievable.
It probably does seem better after some hallucinogenics. But yeah, it was a mad idea that I had of mixing up my two passions, UFOs, paranormal, three passions, and music. And I call it a mad mix of Wayne's World and the X-Files.
That's a perfect description. And this has wide distribution. You can find this show on Apple TV and on Tubi TV? Tubi, yeah, that's what I said. I said Tubi TV, and it's just taken off like crazy. It's taken off like crazy. So, you're like, the best way I can describe it is it's like MTV if you ordered MTV on Wish.
Yeah, it's like MTV on hard drugs, like you said, or MTV in outer space.
So what is this connection? Like at first, when I first read this, I thought, do aliens and ghosts, do they like sort of high-pitched, screeching kind of music that's hard to listen to? Basically, are they Celine Dion fans?
I think we're all Celine Dion fans.
Yeah.
Secretly, of course.
She's a national treasure here. We've been trying to bury her for years, to be perfectly honest.
I'm not going to offend the whole of Canada by slagging up Celine Dion.
But are they aliens and the ghosts? They like more like a droning, kind of boring, incomprehensible songs? Like, are they more like Nickelback songs?
Yeah, you could say that. No, the serious point about this show is that it isn't serious. There's basically two guys, myself and my co-host Guy Thompson. We're both musicians. We're both ordinary guys. The chat that we have, the banter, is like two guys down the bar just talking about this stuff, ghosts, UFOs. It's not meant to be scientific or highbrow. It's to relate just to, ordinary people.
I think it's perfectly said, and it's super entertaining. I love the set. I love everything. I love the entire concept. Now, I had a chance to check out some of your episodes. My favorite is, was the episode you had with Yuri Giller? Season 1, episode 3. So tell me about this. Some people might not be familiar with this sort of psychic kind of guy.
Yeah, Yuri Geller is a great guy, Israeli. He's famous for bending spoons, but he claims to have psychic powers, and he's even been tested by the CIA, who concluded that he does have some powers that can't be explained scientifically.
So the guy, his power, he can bend spoons without touching his hand. His mind bends the spoons.
Yeah, that's what people. That's what he says.
Of all the superpowers you could have, why would you want to have that one? I'm not sure, but yeah, okay, he's super famous, and he came on your show, and he talked about a special gift that he received.
Yeah, Yeah, we was actually living in New York at the time. At the same time, John Lennon from the Beatles was, and he was actually friends with John Lennon, and they lived next to each other in Central Park. Anyway, Yuri got a call from John Lennon at the middle of the night saying, Yuri, you've got to come round. I've just had this alien hand me this space rock. What do I do with it? Crazy story. So yeah, Yuri still has this rock that John Lennon gave him, which apparently came from an alien. It's in Yuri's museum in Israel, so people can go and visit it. And apparently it's got magical powers.
So let me get this straight. This guy got a rock from John Lennon, who got the rock from an alien.
It's a great story, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I don't. It's kind of a conspiracy theory here, but do you think maybe the alien was Yoko Ono? Because, I mean, I don't want to start any conspiracy theories here, folks, but you haven't seen John Lennon and Yoko Ono in the same room for quite some time. I mean, I think that's pretty fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about high pitched singers earlier. I think Yoko's the highest pitched of them all.
Tell me some other highlights. I understand there's a royal connection here. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but here in North America, people who married their cousins, we call them hillbillies, but I understand in England you call them royals.
Yeah, posh people.
So tell me about this Prince
cousins.
Charles story. This is interesting.
Yeah, basically, I was contacted by a Canadian called Dan Costello, and he claimed to have been a diver on a secret operation in Nova Scotia. And Prince Charles was also involved in this project, and Prince Charles was a pilot of an experimental UFO in Canada. And he flew this craft to NASA headquarters at Langley. And apparently it was quite dangerous, had some strange electromagnetic forces that were coming off it that were very dangerous. But Charles did really well, apparently.
Do it.
Well, those ears are like radar stations. So I understand. So what is your most memorable moment, you think? The episode people should catch, or the one thing that you're most proud of? Because I think you're in your third season now, correct?
Yeah, I think, but my favorite episode is one we've done recently. It's called Why We Need Our Monsters, and it's about Bigfoot or Sasquatch. And we've had this famous medical sociologist, Robert Bartholomew. He's a bit of a Bigfoot skeptic. He's saying, where are all the bodies? You've got all these fires up in the Pacific Northwest, and and all these acres, thousands of acres of forest are all being burnt down. Where are all the Bigfoot bodies? And he also asks, where's Mamafoot? Where's Littlefoot? You never hear sightings about them.
At a point, where is Littlefoot? You're right. He's got a point. He's got a point.
That's a really good episode. And he poses the question: if Bigfoot is real, then it's probably some sort of paranormal creature, because you never find the bodies.
Yeah, you never find a Bigfoot carcass.
No, not yet.
Is there one specific paranormal phenomenon that you believe in the most?
Yeah, I believe in UFOs. I believe there's something that's visiting us or coming from other dimensions. I've studied the UFO phenomena for 20 odd years now, and there's definitely something there. And with the hearings in the American Congress at the moment, we've got very credible pilots giving testimony under oath, saying they've engaged with these craft that defy conventional aeronautics. So there's something going on. So our mission, our rock and roll mission on Nub TV is get to the truth. The rock and roll truth is out there.
Now, so I have a follow-up question, because there are some skeptics. I understand why a UFO wouldn't, land near Congress, because there's no intelligent life there. I understand. Well, how come it never lands in downtown London? Because they can't find a parking spot, or what?
Yeah, that's a good point. But to be fair, there are a lot of sightings over cities. Washington, DC has had one. London has had quite a few. So there are sightings in the big cities. I'm a bit skeptical as well. I'm sure a lot of what people see, can eventually be identified. I would say 95% of the stuff is misidentification. And I'm sure a lot of it is secret government projects, secret technology, which is why the Prince Charles story is interesting, because he flew his craft. It looks like a UFO, but it's technology developed by NASA, secret. So I think what we might be seeing might be from various US governments.
I want to give you a shot here. Where can they see the show? If I know in Canada you can download it. It's online. You can search it through Apple TV, and that's the best way to see your show.
Yeah, absolutely. It's on Apple TV. It's on Tubi in Canada. You can connect with me on Twitter at The Pocket God. My band's called The Pocket Gods, so social media, I'm The Pocket God. You know, send me your weird questions, send me your music. I will check everything out. The rock and roll truth is out there on Nub TV.
Absolutely. One more time. Do you have a second? Your movie. You got a movie coming out. This guy's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I need this guy's
it's
agent.
out now.
What's it called?
It's out now. It's called God versus Aliens.
God
about the
versus
impact.
aliens. What's the Vegas odds on that? 4-to-1 odds on God. 4-to-1 odds on God on that movie. All right. So, folks, listen, the fourth season of Nub TV is now available on Tubi. Make sure you check it out. Mark, thanks so much for being on the show all the way from London, England. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Folks, that's all the time we got for tonight's show. Remember, I love you and nobody else, but just not tonight.